At the time, she was fighting cancer for about 5 years almost. We had different medical bills that would come up and stuff like that, and so we discussed how we were going to pay for some of those things. And one of the topics that had come up was selling one of our vehicles. She initially wanted to sell her car, which she really loved, and I just didn't want her to have to sell it, so I decided we would sell the GX470. I'm Jeff Seabolt. I'm currently driving this GX470. Basically, well, I can't really claim it as my own. It belongs to the boys at this point. But at one point, I had my own GX470. It was a 2006, and I basically purchased it with the idea that me, my wife, and our kids would be able to travel around and just kind of go and explore and see a lot of cool things all across the country. Maybe make some big trips, try and get to like FJ Summit and things like that. And shortly after we basically got the vehicle set up, we started getting the lift and getting tires together, and we had a whole list of things that we wanted to do to it. She was diagnosed with cancer, and a lot of that stuff kind of got put on the back burner and held off for a little while we went through treatments and things like that. And over the time, she was fighting cancer for about 5 years almost. We had different medical bills that would come up and stuff like that, and so we discussed how we were going to pay for some of those things. And one of the topics that had come up was selling one of our vehicles. She initially wanted to sell her car, which she really loved, and I just didn't want her to have to sell it, so I decided we would sell the GX470, and that later on down the road when she was all better, we could get another one and be able to do some of those trips that we had planned. But we sold the GX470. We used that money to pay off a lot of our bills, and then we just kind of, we're just enjoying life the best we could while we were going through treatments and things like that. And she continued to get sick, and she fought for a long time, but she was tired. And she eventually passed with us by her side. But one of the things she wanted us to do was to she wanted us to do the trips, and she wanted me to make sure I took the boys out, did the things that we wanted to do, things we had planned. And so one of those things was going to be eventually getting another GX470 and building it up. And I didn't really know at the time GXOR was putting together something to try and get us back into a GX, because he had watched over the years. He had been my friend online and stuff, and he'd seen what we'd been going through with treatments. And when I sold the GX and he was aware of it, he kind of asked me about why I had sold it and what was going on, and I told him, not knowing that he was putting together kind of a fund, and he got a lot of the guys together from the GXOR community, and it was just everyday members on there. It was some companies supporting and stuff like that, and they all got together and they put donations into a big pot. And he called me up one day and said, hey, this is what we're working on, this is what we're doing, and we've almost got the ability to get you a new GX and get you guys on the road, a trail-ready GX at that. So I wouldn't have to take the time of building up a new one. It would be turnkey. Me and the boys could get in it, and we could just go and start doing our trips and making memories. The GX is an awesome vehicle. It's got that V8, but it gets a little thirsty at times, and it really likes to drink some fuel. And so it kind of limits your ability to go out without having to kind of stay tethered to an area of gas stations or something where you can fill up and be able to run the vehicle. So I was able to get in touch with Long Range America, and they were able to work out a deal and get me set up with an awesome tank to improve our range and help make memories so that the boys and I can just go out and explore.